Hi, I'm Trooper Smacka.
Hi, I'm Trooper Wellman,
Please stay tuned for a behind-the-scenes look at being a state trooper.
and together we can make a difference.
Here we are live at the 360 Vegas studios with Trooper Talk with Trooper Wellman, the final Trooper Talk of the year. And Trooper Wellman, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
We're super excited for next year. You know, we have a lot of great things that we're looking forward to. You know, a lot of great guests, you know what I mean? And things like that. You know, we appreciate you and coming on with you and stuff like that. And so it's the end of the year.
Yes.
And so, you know, I want to wrap things up and, you know, sort of tell everybody the fact that, you know, we want them to be here, you know, and all that type of stuff. I know you have some news about the rideshare information.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, go ahead and tell us. I think it's cool. Pull out your thing again. When I told you that, you pulled out your thing and you wrote it down. Let me ask you this. Do all officers carry, like, a notepad like that?
Of course.
So it's just to write down notes and stuff like that when you're, right? Tell us.
Yeah, and then also when we're interacting with the public, if we need to get someone's information, we write down their name, date of birth, all that.
Yeah.
So we don't have to memorize it, as well as if you're working a full investigation, a big scene, you can take down notes, so that way you don't have to memorize it as well. And we don't, you know, we want to be 100% on our investigations. So, yeah, everybody carries this part of our uniform.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's very cool. So rideshare information. So this is going to air now on Thursday. And so it's going to be right before New Year's Eve 2021 going into 22.
Yes.
And so tell us what's going on.
So I feel like every safety message you and I have discussed throughout this year has really led up to this event. New Year's Eve is one of the biggest, if not the biggest event in Las Vegas. You know, we're a destination city and we're 24/7, so people come here to have a good time as well as to celebrate the new year. We welcome all of our tourists to come. We want them to have a good time, but we need to do it safely and they need to plan ahead. And one of the, you know, we want people to get home safely or to their destination safely. That is our ultimate goal, is 0 fatalities. And so one of the things that Office of Traffic Safety has done is they have partnered up with Lyft, one of our ride shares that we have here in town. And if you actually use the code RIDESMART2022, as of 6 p.m. on December 31st until 6 a.m. January 1st, 2022, you can get $10 off one ride. So we want you to use these ride shares that are out there. That is the one day that everybody that works for Lyft, Uber, taxi, even the bus systems, transportation, you know, everybody is working. We want to make sure there is 0 fatalities, no one is hurt, everybody has a good time, and it's a great way to bring in the new year, right?
Yeah, and there is every opportunity, no matter what it is, you know, from probably even starting all the way from calling a friend, right?
Yeah.
To as many paid services as there are in Las Vegas that will get you home for free.
Yes.
Or minimal charge, or what, you know what I mean? Like,
there's no excuse.
right? Like none.
We've even implemented so much in our city because we want 0 fatalities that, you know, when we have big sporting events for the Raiders or the Golden Knights, we have buses that'll take you to and from your casinos, or like maybe just down the street from your house. There's like locations where these big tour buses will take you to the event and take you back to the drop-off location, just to prevent people from drinking and driving, because we don't want anyone to get hurt.
We don't want anyone getting hurt. And, you know, the thing that we also talk about and you see everywhere is the fact that the law enforcement community, you know, fortunately, unfortunately, however you look at it, is out in full force that evening, right?
Yes.
Like, you know, they're telling you, right? So don't be silly.
Mm-hmm.
But if you like, you know what I mean? Like, don't tempt fate too, because
Correct.
we're gonna be there.
We are going to be there. We are out in numbers. We are out in force. When we took this oath to wear this badge, everybody already knew what we signed up for. When you're always going to work New Year's Eve, that is the one day a year that you will 100% be working. Every officer works, and we do it to save lives as well as to prevent any tragedies from happening. You know, we've had the riots, the protests, everything. we are out there to make sure everybody is being safe.
And the thing is that when you're out and so you're in your patrol vehicle, which is your place of doing business, right? So we also have to respect the fact that when you're out and you're doing business, that while we're in the motoring public, right, we want to really be conscious of the move over law,
Yes.
right?
Yes, there will be heavy traffic on the freeways. We're going to have a lot of road closures. We will have that posted on our social media so that you can see ahead of time. We will have pretty much every ramp shut down that will lead you to the strip at a certain time, and that is to prevent traffic while all these pedestrians are out on the roadway on Las Vegas Boulevard for the celebration of the New Year. With that, there's going to be traffic delays and there's going to be backups on the freeway. Please be patient. If you see an emergency vehicle trying to get through, please move over to the right. Leave that left lane open for emergency vehicles so they can travel to and from. And as well as if you see us on the shoulder conducting a traffic stop or an investigation, please be courteous and consider the move over law so that you can please safely move over or at least decrease your speed.
And, there's never really a time to play around when you're driving. But, the thing is that this is not the time to be driving fast, as you're saying, driving on the shoulder, doing all these things that, it's never safe to do. But now especially, because so many people are so excited and, have all these different things and different emotions, positive, negative, whatever. It's not, now we need to be safe on the roadways.
Yeah, and again, with the closures, people are going to be running late, trying to get to their, maybe their casino. They're trying to get to the parking garage, the park, so they can get down to the strip. Leave early. Plan ahead. That's all I can tell you. I used to work valet for many years on the strip, and that was one of the things is people were always trying to find different ways to get down to the strip because the roads were closed, and that's when people start driving recklessly, like you said, speeding, traveling on the shoulder, going against, restricted access with cones and stuff because they're trying to get to their destination, and I don't recommend that, one, for your safety as well as everyone else's, but two, really think about it for a second. Every officer in the valley is going to be working, so is it worth it? Right. No, you're going to end up going to jail or getting a heavy ticket with a fine when you just want to have a good time that night. So just don't do it. Just plan ahead and leave earlier.
Yeah, and like you said, so on your social media, right, be updating the road closures.
Yes, look at our Twitter feed. We're going to be updating the road closures and the times. As soon as ramps open back up, I will be tweeting out so that everybody's aware that they can use these routes and go certain ways. And the reason I say follow our Twitter is because let's say at 3 a.m. we're going to be opening up Russell in the IR-15. But if there's a crash or there's an incident that goes down, we may not be opening it up. So just please follow our Twitter account, and I will keep you updated as we go throughout the evening.
And you picked the exact time that I was going to say. At 12:01, the roads are not reopening. No. Right. Like so after the New Year's Eve, people have to have time to settle and this and do all these type of things before roads can start to reopen.
It's really a moving
timeline or something like that?
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, because it dictates on how many people we have down there, the volume, traffic, and like I said, if there's an accident or a crash or any other incidents, it would all dictate if the roads are going to open or not. So it's a moving timeline, exactly.
So we just want everyone to be safe and just follow whatever instructions that everyone are trying to do, and try to get to wherever you're getting, in maybe an earlier manner.
Yeah, please.
So you're not.
Please just have patience, and if you are planning on going down to the strip, dress warm. It will be very, very cold, so please dress warm as well as plan ahead and just make the right decisions and have a good time.
They said Sunday, 27 degrees. You know what I'm saying? I will be enjoying it from my house. You know what I'm saying?
No, thank you.
In the warm. We'll be thinking of you and all the other officers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But
think warm thoughts.
Yeah, but we appreciate you. All right. So let's see what we got here. Exit to full screen. Let's see. Johnny pulled some video.
Oh.
What do we got here, Johnny? So what do we have here?
So, our fallen trooper Micah May, as well as our recent fallen trooper Cliff Fontaine, who lost his battle to COVID, even though it wasn't, or COVID complications. Even though it wasn't line of duty, we always want to make sure that our brothers' families know that we're still here for them. This is the first Christmas for the May family as well as the Fontaine without their loved one. And so the community, as well as our surrounding partners, Henderson Police Department, the Metropolitan Police Department, we all came together and we actually went to the homes and sang some Christmas carols just to bring some holiday cheer as well as just some joy, maybe a smile to their face, because we know that they're going to be struggling this holiday. We did not sound like Carrie Underwood, though.
Yeah. And so we know you have a young daughter.
I do.
And and we know we've seen you countless of times with the families and their children, you know, at the car show and then at the at other events, and so this really means a lot to you on the personal level.
100%. I think we put ourselves in their shoes, and I constantly think to myself, if I was to pay the ultimate sacrifice, are these things that I'd want for my family? And it is, and that's why, rain or shine, it was raining on us, it was cold, and we made it happen. We weren't gonna not go. So, and it brought big smiles to the kids' faces, to his widow, Joanna May, and actually Trooper Micah May's parents came into town, so they happened to be there as well. So it was just very rewarding for such a tragic event.
And so the younger children, who obviously have a different perception of what is happening than Trooper Fontaine's family, who his children are a little bit older.
Correct.
You know,
the ultimate goal is just so they both know, all of the children know, that their fathers were loved, and they are loved, and their fathers will live on through our memories as well as theirs. And just because they're not here physically doesn't mean they're not here with us at all times. So we just need them to know that they mattered, and that they made a difference in this world, and they impacted all of us. And so we just don't ever want them to feel alone.
Yeah. And you know, I asked Sergeant Smacka, right? So now I have the opportunity to ask you. So when you're alone and you're in your, you know, you're driving, right? So tell us about thoughts that you have of your own self, of where you are, and like your innermost thoughts.
So I always try to live life to the fullest, and it could always be my last day. So I think it's very important that we always tell our loved ones, as well as our peers and our coworkers, that we care about them. If I was to die tomorrow, I always tell my loved ones that I died, like I want them to know I died happy. I have fulfilled a lot in my life. I'm very grateful to where I am today, and events like this is really what it's about for me. That it's just truly paying it forward, and I don't.
It's tough, right?
Yeah, it sucks thinking about it.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
the thing is that you know, one of the most wonderful things about the Trooper Talk, right, is the fact of being able to share these type of events with someone like yourself, because most people, they can just watch this, or they'll watch a 30-second clip or whatever from a news organization, whatever it might be, but we never get the feel, we never get to see. And so I think one of the most wonderful things, and you know, we were very, very fortunate to be able to share with Sergeant Smacka and with you, is the emotional part of some of these tragic events.
Yeah.
But also in the positive about moving it forward, like you see the Trooper May's children, you can see that the children are growing.
Yeah.
Right, like only a few months, but you can see that they're getting bigger.
Yeah.
And so it is really wonderful to be able to see and be able to share that.
One of the women that came out and did this event with us, I had never met her until that day, and she had brought her children, and after we got done singing, she was crying by her car, and I went up to her and I just wanted to thank her for coming, and also ask if she was okay, and she said that she just didn't realize that Trooper May's children were so little, and it really affected her. And I told her that, you know, the children affect all of us, and that is why we do what we do and why we're out here right now in the rain, so that they know that their father is still with them, and you know, so we love them too, that those are like our children now. And I also told her to take comfort in knowing that this community stepped up so much when their father passed, just like the IPOF. I mean, I had nonprofits reach out to me that gave the children scholarships, and honestly, the May family, if it wasn't for this community, I got so much comfort knowing that financially they're going to be okay because of what everyone else has done in this community. And it's truly beautiful. It's bittersweet, but it's beautiful. Like in tragedy, there's beauty, and you just have to find it. And so I was just trying to explain to her that the children will be okay as long as we continue to be there for them.
Yeah, and you might not be able to be there 100% emotionally to replace, but in some aspects, at least on a financial aspect, at least that's one less stress.
Exactly.
And so it might not be 100%, but at least it's something, and it's a little bit less of the stress.
Yeah,
And so,
and you know, when I got this event going and did the video, I didn't realize how much it was going to affect troopers. I got text messages and phone calls from so many troopers saying that, thanking me for putting that event together. It was a very short notice when we did it, and it was the holiday season, so not a lot of troopers could be there. And so when they saw the footage, people were texting me, calling me, crying, saying just thank you so much. Like, it affected them and warmed their heart to just see us out there for the family. And I think they also too take comfort knowing that if something happened to them, that we would take care of their family in the same way. And it kind of gives us some comfort in knowing, like, if I was to go out, you know, like a lot of this stuff would happen for my family. It's you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, I do.
It's hard to find the words.
Your own immortality is actually put at peace, like, to know that, like, okay, at least if this happened, like, at least I would, my family would get this, and they would be able to have this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of careers in this world that I mean, obviously we're putting our lives on the line, but if you were to pass, you know, to know that your family would still constantly be checked on. It's a very comforting thing.
I think that it's very special. And so that's why we always want to keep these things in light. We always want people to know that the ones who have passed are not ever forgotten.
Yeah.
And so, like, we might not be able to do for them every time or every, you know, but, like, at least if there's somebody there that's at least saying hello or whatever, it at least keeps it in the forefront. And I think that's something that's very special. And we see all the different branches again there. And so
Joanna May actually called me the day after Christmas, and I had sent her, she wanted the audio from us singing, and I had sent it to her the day after Christmas, and she said she was actually having a really hard day that day. Just kind of, she said, you know, Christmas Day was good, but afterwards, for some reason, it affects her without Micah there. And she said when I sent her the video of us singing and our lovely voices, that it just made her whole day and made her feel better. And that's what it's about, like, just anything to ease some of their pain, right?
Yeah,
so
100%, and that's what's really wonderful. You know what I mean? So we want to keep showing that. All right, Johnny, I'm going. I think it's really wonderful.
Thanks.
All right. National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. You know, here's what I see. Somebody in the desert, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know. So I wanted to tell you. So I had an opportunity to hang out with Sergeant Baracek
Okay.
on Christmas. He was telling me about the area up, you know, and all these canyons and stuff like that he drives through, that, you know, normally people drive very fast, and normally, like, you know, like up near Red Rock and stuff like this. And so I wanted to bring in light to Red Rock, right? Scenic driving, people driving fast, people renting fast cars, people renting those little
Sidewinder.
the two-wheel front wheel, two in the one in the back, right? You know, we want to talk about this type of thing from now until the beginning of the year because maybe people are doing that.
Yeah. You know, Red Rock is gorgeous, and we call it the Red Rock Loop, and that is not the place for speed. You need to go to a track down at the speedway if you want to drive your car fast. A lot of people are out there hiking, walking, riding their bicycles, enjoying the weather. That is not a place for speed. And unfortunately, people don't realize that, and they make those decisions, and there's fatal consequences, whether they are injuring somebody else or themselves. We've had way too many fatals out at Red Rock Loop this year, and it's all things that could have been prevented. So whether it be impairment or just recklessness.
And you know, it doesn't matter what you're driving, right? Like you said, like you could be driving a bicycle.
Yeah.
You need to be careful, right? You know, I don't think we brought it up here, but I saw that you know, the 5 bicyclists that were killed on the
The I-11.
They put up a new thing, right?
I believe so.
Like a new prevention area or whatever it was. I saw that on the news. Speaking of bicyclists, and
Yeah, because it was the anniversary.
Yeah, I forget what it was. Anyway, we'll talk about that on the next time.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the, you know, the preventive driving, you know,
We're always out there, you know, getting these impaired drivers off the road. But this month, especially, we have a bunch of funding that was granted by Office of Traffic Safety to put officers out there. They're getting paid to be out there in numbers and more visibility so that way we can get these impaired drivers off the road.
get them off the road. You know, the thing is that I thought, you know, maybe there's heroic things by other state troopers. And so,
Oh, man.
you know, I wanted to bring this up because I didn't watch the video, but I thought it was very important because there's different parts of Nevada, and I don't think people understand how much you put your life on the line for someone that you've never met.
Yeah,
And so it doesn't matter that this person is in Maine or not or wherever.
that's amazing.
It matters that you put your life on the line. And so, you know.
That's someone's loved one, you know, and especially as you get older, like my grandmother, she suffers from dementia. So I'm very educated and very well involved in that kind of lifestyle. And so anytime I come across somebody that's suffering from a medical episode or maybe dementia or, you know, just as you get older, you start to get forgetful. And so we always want to have patience with them and treat them as if they were our loved ones. So it's really beautiful that officer saw him, was able to get him some medical attention, and you know, he treated it. That's someone's loved one, so he treated him with kindness, and that was just awesome.
Awesome, right? In
Way
the
to
snow
go.
and the, you know what I mean? And so we always like to show heroicism.
Yeah.
Motorist crashed into Troopers Patrol Unit with emergency lights on.
Yep. I believe this one was up north, and you know, we just constantly say, please be looking ahead when you're driving, especially with weather these days. We've had a lot of rain up at the mountains. We have a lot of snow and ice right now. Just make sure you're looking ahead to see if you can see emergency lights, because we may be taking a travel lane and be stopped and stationary, and you can't tell from afar if there's maybe inclement weather and it's raining and your visibility isn't the best. So just slow down and really pay full attention, please, because you don't want to get hurt, and you definitely don't want to hit us if we're trying to help somebody else in need. We're not just in a travel lane to be in a travel lane, you know?
And the speed limit is for a road that is dry in optimum conditions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the speed limit, if it's 35 or 45, like maybe on a more rural road, that doesn't mean 45 when it's 6 feet of snow.
Right. No. You need to adjust your speed to the weather, and if you can safely operate your vehicle. Because if you lose control and you crash, that's going to be your fault.
And I saw this week that literally it's slight chance of rain, slight chance of rain, slight chance of
Yeah.
rain. You know, when I was driving to work this morning, you know, there was a few droplets on the windshield, right? So this particular time, whatever it is, again, doesn't matter what somebody believes politically and the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
There's just a lot of moisture in the air over the next week.
Yeah.
Right, and so
Yeah.
in some places it's snow. Like, what did I see? Like Lee Canyon, they're supposed to get another 15 inches. Or this is right up the road.
Yeah.
This is people watching us right now live in Lee Canyon, and they're going to have 15 feet of snow or inches, whatever. Right, and so we need to be careful.
Yes. Very, very careful. Please decrease your speed to avoid anything like this happening.
Yeah, and so and if you see the blinking lights, slow down. All right, Johnny, what do you have this? Not a law oh, yes.
Car seat law. Yes. I've been getting a lot of inquiries about this.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Many years ago, you could go to Nevada Highway Patrol, the Southern Command, and they would check
Your car seat
your
for
car
you.
seat.
Yes.
If you were a new parent, whatever, but specifically for the new parents I saw, because they had the line of people
Yes.
to check to make sure that it was installed properly, because they found that the child safety seats were not installed properly.
Yeah. So I'm a new mother. My daughter's 3 years old. When she was born, I actually went to one of the hospitals, and like you were saying, there's so many resources out there
Okay.
that actually are companies that will, like, we waited in a line and we pulled up and they helped us install our car seat to
Yeah.
make sure that we were doing it correctly. Because there's so much to these car seats nowadays that you want to make sure it's tight. You have your baby in there like properly. If you don't take a class on it, how do you know? You watch YouTube, or you go, look at
Yeah.
the instruction manual. So it's always just like a nice comfort to have somebody else check it for you that is trained in this information. So the hospitals provide it, the fire stations, as well as we do too. The only thing with our station is we have a few people that are certified, so I would recommend calling ahead to make sure that somebody's available. So if you come down to our station, that they're available to go ahead and check your car seat safety.
And so now the new law is, they said that it was the inches.
Yes.
Right, like on the person, it was like 4'11", I think it was, or but it's average.
So
height
it
of-
used to be 6 years old or 60 pounds, 6 or 60. Now it's 6 years old and 57 inches tall. It has to be both. So
yeah,
they're saying that's about an 11-year-old.
yeah.
And what they have found through studies is that our children are, depending on the size of your child as well, they're not, even though the seatbelt is there, they're so little that they're slipping out of these seatbelts in a major incident or a crash, right? So the booster seat is to restrain them tighter and hold them in place if an unfortunate event of a crash occurred. And I know one of the biggest hiccups that people are having issues with is the rear facing. If your child has longer legs, how are they going to sit rear faced as they get older? Because if you see, they're saying till at least 2 years old. And I know that my daughter as well, her legs were getting tight at 2 years old, and I wanted to flip her around. And honestly, you just need to talk to a professional that's certified in these, in the car seat installment. If you have any questions, you can contact our station, Star NHP. You can come down to our station. We're open Monday through Friday, as well as you can go to, I'm almost positive any hospital has resources that you can go down there and they will help you with your car seat and your children if you have any questions.
And so what? So after 3, then the child doesn't sit in the front seat. They sit in the back seat.
Yeah,
I mean, like in a seat belt, right? Like, so after they get out of a.
So our car seats are meant to rear face. Then you flip them around and they forward face, but they're still in a car seat. And as the child grows,
Yeah.
you can break your car seat down, most of them, if not you buy new ones, but they have a booster seat. And so what we're saying is you can't, now you have to be in the booster seat or harness car seat, the forward facing, until they're at least 6 years old and 57 inches tall.
Okay.
And it used to be or.
I got
and
it.
now they've changed
Now
it
I
to
understand.
both. And it's because of the size of the children, and we're seeing that they're not restrained tight enough in these crashes. If you're involved in a rollover, let's say worst case scenario,
Yeah.
we want the child to be restrained and not be able to slip out of that seatbelt.
It's very confusing.
it's a tad bit confusing, correct?
You know, but you know, I'm not a parent, right? But the thing
Right,
is that
You never know if
at least there's resources out there to, you know, properly ask the question.
Yeah, and there's a lot of questions on this one, and there is a lot of people don't like change. We don't like change, and so there's a lot of questions in regards to this new law, and
Wow.
we're more than happy to answer them.
This is very confusing. Closures. Ah, yes.
Yep.
So, Lee and Kyle Canyon.
Yeah, so this weekend at the mountain was very, very busy. It was the holiday weekend of Christmas, and everybody's on winter break for the most part now. So a lot of families and people were going up there to enjoy the weather and the snow, which is awesome, but you got to do it carefully. You had to have at least 4-wheel drive or chains on your tires to go up there, as
yes.
well as you have to be completely parked over the fog line in the shoulder, or you have to be in a designated parking spot. Otherwise, your vehicle was going to be ticketed or towed, because we have to make sure our snow plows as well as our emergency vehicles can get to and from up the mountain and down the mountain if there's a crash or a major incident. So they don't take that lightly up there. If your car is over that fog line, you're getting a ticket. And it was getting so packed that they actually had to keep closing the mountain, and then as people would leave, they would reopen.
I saw that too.
So it was pretty much, if you weren't up there by 9 o'clock, you weren't getting up there for a while, because there were so many people up there.
And when I was talking with Sergeant Brocek, so he said that you know, they had to get the ambulance up there,
Yeah.
and it was very difficult because the ambulance is waiting. So the thing is that if you mess around, don't, like, you know, those roads are specific widths to get those emergency
Yeah.
vehicles up there.
Yes.
And so it was very difficult for that as well. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and that's the thing. If you're going to go up to the mountain, now you need to think about different obstacles that are going to be put in your way of cell service if you had to call 911, as well as you want to be extra careful, because if you do need an ambulance, I understand things happen, but if you do need an ambulance, it's going to take longer than if you were in town.
Yeah, unfortunately. You know what I
So-
mean? How about this one? When you see a flashing sign like this, change.
Yeah, so these signs are put into place to help with visibility so that people see that specific locations, whether you be up north. This is up north in I think Reno. Chains or snow tires are required. I do know, excuse me, at Mount Charleston and Lee Canyon, they were allowing 4-wheel drive. But I think it's Nevada Department of Transportation posts on their Twitter constantly and on their feed if you need the chains or if things are shut down. And then we try to stay up to date with it as well. Every day I try to post if it's shut down or what you need and what's required prior to going up the mountain.
And you know, watch the roadways, watch the news. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if you see these type of things, I mean, they're probably going to have 4-wheel drive and snow tires and things of that nature. And so, right?
Yeah. Prime example, you said you saw that this weekend that we're anticipated to get 15 inches of
Yeah.
snow. So you already know that you're going to need snow tires or chains or
Right.
4-wheel drive
Right.
to get up there, because it's going to be heavy.
Heavy. and like you said, get up there early.
Get up there early if you want to go up there, because
Yeah.
it fills up fast.
And you know what else I heard? If you go up there and you sled and you break your sled, you need to take your broken sled home.
People are leaving it.
They break. Yeah, I know.
Aye.
I know.
Ruining something nice.
Unsafe vehicle. Oh, so I guess we don't deal with it as much, but maybe we do. So probably when you're driving with something like this and somebody is in front of you and they hit the gas and that, right?
Yeah, so not only does that obstruct their view, but as they're driving and the snow's flying off their car, you're obstructing someone else's view or causing a hazard because they might swerve to avoid, or you might even cause damage to their vehicle. So that is not okay. You need to make sure you clear off all your windows and try to get most of that snow off your car prior to getting on the roadway.
Yeah. And make sure the lights are working.
Yes.
We need to do something for the people that are not having the lights on. I don't know what the when they
like
at
their
night
headlights and everything.
no lights on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely stop people for that constantly to make sure their lights are on,
Yeah.
because you got to be able to see the vehicles.
Got to be able to see the vehicles. Oh, Trooper Woman. That's it already. I find a lot of fun and enjoyment in talking with you.
Ditto.
And so it's I look forward to next year.
Me too.
We'll talk to Ann. We'll try to get her in. We want to try to get somebody from the dispatch.
Yes,
You
yes,
know what
yes,
I mean?
yes.
I think that would be a lot of fun, and a lot of fun and other things that we're going to try. We haven't gotten approved yet for our exciting thing, but we're still working for that. And
Okay.
so we still have the exclusivity on the Thursday afternoon, but hopefully sometime we'll be able to do something in the
Sounds
morning.
good. We're very grateful for this
Um,
opportunity, so thank you.
Yeah, Trooper Wellman, thank you very much. Not Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Happy New Year.
and just be safe on the New Year's. You know what I mean? Just try to
Yep.
be warm, and just tell all the troopers. We appreciate them, and we want everyone to come back for next year.
Thank you, thank you. And
All right.
again, don't forget, if you need $10 off
Oh, yeah,
one
the ride
ride
share.
with Lyft, Ride Smart 2022.
Ride Smart 2022. Johnny, you got that? Yeah. All right, good. Johnny's gonna put that in big letters and everything around the bottom.
Awesome.
All right, thanks. All right, thank you. Happy
Happy New Year.